Okay, welcome to the August 13 sign Sidereal Astrology report. I usually do these live with my group, so we have a little party kind of online. But since I'm in Europe traveling, I decided just to record it and then send it out. So that's what you have here. Yeah, I'm on a pretty exciting kind of tour through Europe. I'll show you what we're doing. Hang on a second. Okay, got the share screen on. We came across this connection between the Virgo constellation in the sky and actually the cathedrals of France called the Notre Dame cathedrals of different areas. And those cathedrals are aligned exactly where Virgo stars are. So here you see you have Chartres, the one in Paris, the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, the one in Reims, and so pretty much all of them align to the stars, and we're visiting them and checking them out. So that's the reason why this report is done. It's I'm recording it. So let's see what we have going on for the full moon here. Okay, I have my notes. All right, so let's do a fresh chart here. Hang on a second. Right there. So get my pen out. We have the full moon is going to be in Capricorn. The sun will be in Leo. Now, taking a look at this, first of all, Mercury is still in the Gatorade right here. It will be coming out this, we'll see the dates when it comes out. We'll look at the transits. But first thing I noticed right away is Pluto isn't also in Capricorn. And Pluto has a lot going on. It's involved in a lot of movements for this phase, and I'll draw it out for you. So we have a T square, and it's all landing on Pluto, and it has to do with healing with Chiron. So what does that mean? Well, you have the full moon in Capricorn, and then Pluto is also in Capricorn. T squares with Chiron and Mercury. This is a reality check of the healing journey that you are all on. Because Chiron at Pisces is, we're in the age of Pisces. So I always look at this as healing the duality that we have to deal with the age of Pisces, which is a lot. Pluto and Mercury always bring out hidden information, hidden, pretty much where you have been blindsided on your healing journey. This is an opportunity to illuminate that because the full moon illuminates. So if you look at the combination, you have Capricorn energy here, which is pretty much, I think it's this reality, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is with Neptune. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Chiron is in Pisces. So you see, now when we look at the energy of Saturn and Neptune, both retrograde, but I call this a spiritual maturity or acceptance of the flow of spirit. Because Neptune is the Akashic realm, the Akashic, I call it access to the Akashic records. And Saturn is this reality, it's the number seven, it's the human structure. We can also see that has a trine to Mercury. So there's something that's happening here that's saying illuminate, uh, mature enough to handle the information, the healing that comes out. Or, I mean, it's a T square, so it's a challenge. And of course, that Mercury is in Cancer, which is also related to a seven. Why? Because the moon, this is a 7-7, right? So the moon, there's a moon Saturn energy kind of it's called the Moon Saturn matrix. It's the seven. It's the human uh, body. The moon controls the emotions, and Saturn is the body. So there's a 7-7 going on here, and Mercury is in there. So this even tells me more. This is well, let's keep looking because we're talking about the human body and the human emotions and the reality check of where we are with that on our healing journey and our spiritual journey. So our spiritual knowing and our emotional body. So this something is going to be illuminated during this time, and Pluto is involved. Now, when Pluto is involved, um, you know, Pluto is pretty, how do you say, unapologetic. Doesn't necessarily know how to be gentle. So it's not saying it's a destroyer, but it is a destroyer. It just doesn't know. Um, it doesn't know the light, the way, the lighter way to. It goes into the darkness. So it's gritty, dirty, ugly. Brings it up, chops it up, makes it into fertilizer is what I always call it. And why do I bring that up? It's the next aspect that we'll see. So let's erase this. Okay. So I spotted this out, and this is why I say fertilizer. I've been doing this a while, so I know. So basically, we identified Pluto, Mercury is to reveal what's hidden, brings it out into the open. But we have this interesting, and it's great because it's supportive. It's a grand trine right here. Pluto, Mars, Uranus. This is what I was saying about emotions, reality check. Grand trines are always great. These are supportive energies. So supportive, again, Pluto's involved. So the Pluto is hitting Mars. Pluto Mars is literally what will, these are the energies that you want when you want to actually have the strength behind you to make what's not serving you, turn it into fertilizer so that you can grow. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Mm. The Uranus energy is quite interesting because we see it in Taurus, which is great. I see it in Taurus as well. It's a feminine sign. That I see it conjunct the ALC, Alcyone, that's the central star of the Pleiades. So I'm looking at that. So I'm seeing a star seed awakening. So a star seed, star energy, maybe an intuitive jolt of information from maybe your, I always like to think we have star seed cousins in the Pleiades that are helping us. Especially since if you've been following my work, I talked about how we're in the Photon belt now, which is shared with the Pleiades. So we should be receiving a lot of messages from Pleiades. So that's why I kind of say the starseed cousins in the Pleiades are giving us information. Mars, the planet of action, it's in Virgo. And interesting, when we look at the transits, we'll see we took a break from our journey of the Virgo cathedrals. Virgo is directly related to Mary, Notre Dame, Our Lady. And we start up the journey actually tomorrow morning. We head off to Reims, and then a couple days in Reims, and then we go to Paris. We route down in Paris, and we start branching out to all the other cathedrals to check them out. Yeah, and that's Mars Virgo. Mars Virgo I mean, Virgo is not what most people believe Virgo is if you're reading the textbook astrology. We are discovering Virgo is actually the Mary, the mother. This is, yeah, and it makes sense because when you see the cathedrals aligned to the Virgo constellation, it's a bigger thing, and we're uncovering that as we speak. So Virgo is not what you pick up an astrology book. It'll say Virgo is the desk organizer, the obedient woman. Quite the opposite. uh, Virgo takes chaos and brings it into matter, which is why she's involved with something called the Immaculate Conception, because she's able to take chaos and bring it into a form of a divine soul, divine being. So that's the energy we're looking at when we're working with Virgo. Um, and Mars is there. This is taking action during the full moon and awakening, Uranus awakening, Pluto to what's hidden, to be able to transmutate. What we saw here is what we saw with the energy of that T square, the hidden wounds, or the deeper dive into the healing journey. So that's what I see happening here. Um, yeah, and it is a lot of feminine energy. So maybe the feminine qualities of healing. So the feminine energy of action could be could be what we're looking at with Mars and Virgo, which is not really about being aggressive, but it is with Pluto. Um, so this is something to look at, and of course, it's in Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. Um, and there's a lot more to look at here. We want to actually see where that ruler is. Venus conjunct Jupiter conjunct Sirius. Um, I mean, literally, I have it right here. Let me pull it up. Hang on a second. So Sirius is actually the star of Isis. Isis is directly related to Virgo. And I'm gonna pull it up here. I have it right here. Let me just get my mouse. Um, which of course, always, let's see what I have here. Oh, hang on. Right here. So what we discovered is, let me erase a few of these things. This is the Napoleon's coat of coat of arms, or the shield that he created for Paris. Because someone, as we were researching, told us, well, Paris is connected to ISIS. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's Napoleon. She told me about this, and it's par ISIS, near ISIS, close to ISIS. And so I looked into it, and here it is, clear as day. This is the shield. This is the throne. Well, the symbol of the hieroglyph for Isis in Egypt is a throne. That's what you see on the head of the goddess. And if you look here, this is Isis on a throne on the bow of a ship. Let me just see if this will allow me to make this a little smaller. Yeah, because I thought I saw, yeah, it says Paris here, the Napoleon, January 29th, 1811, Paris. So if we look here, one of the things, I'm trying to figure out how to get this going. One of the things that here we go, that we come across is the connection between Isis and Mary. And here's the star of Isis. Here's Sirius right here. Isis right here. It's called Mary. They call it Stella Maris, or they call her the guiding light. They call Mary that. And here you have the guiding light, the guiding star. Because part of the story is the three kings, which I'm looking here at three honeybees, three queen bees, the three royals, the three kings, maybe three queens, follow the brightest star as a guiding light to find the birth of the Christos. And here you have Isis on the bow of a ship, guided by the light of Sirius. And I'm just like, wow, you got to be kidding me. This is all connected. So getting back to the chart, when you look here, you have Sirius, which is the goddess Isis, which is Mary. And then Jupiter is a royal sign. It's the sign of royalty. Then Venus. So, hello, how are you? This is all set up for that. And it is a trine directly to the north node. It's a sextile. Well, is there sec? No, there's no sextile here. But anyway, I noticed that trine. So I'm like, okay, I mean that's amazing. Um, if you look here where Venus, yep, that's about all we have for Venus. So this is going to be a pretty interesting full moon, and it's coming up on August 9th. Again, it's in Capricorn. The sun is in Leo. That's a royal sign. That's the sign of the royal heart, led by the heart. South node is in Leo towards the end. So the royal heart energy. All right. So now it would be cool. Let's have a look at the transits of what's going on here. Let's see if that's it. That's it here. All right. You can see here a few interesting things going on immediately with Saturn. Saturn sextiles Uranus. Saturn conjuncts has been conjunct with Neptune for a while, sextiles Pluto. So we look at this energy with Saturn, and now it's the spiritual maturity energy. I always keep talking about it. This is about accepting the laws of spirit because Saturn is the laws of the physical. The laws of the spirit are beyond the physical. So Saturn is having a moment of having a spiritual matured way session with Neptune. Sextiles Uranus, which is awakening, goes exact on the 11th, right about almost midnight, 2333, 333, right? So what are the odds? Uranus is the awakener with the Pleiades. Pluto, we talked about as having a moment. It's actually in Capricorn that's ruled by Saturn. So it's in Saturn's sign. So there's a level of reality. That's why I called, if you saw in the beginning, I said reality check. This is reality check. Then you have Uranus sextiles Neptune because, of course, it's conjunct with Saturn. So there's this awakening. Then Neptune sextiles Pluto. That I always look at, and that's going on all month. Pluto, Neptune. This is the shaman. This is always I always look at it in birth charts. Say this is shamanism. This is the deep alchemy of working with the Akashic records and the unknown darkness and bringing it to some sort of light. So that's what we see. And then we have Mars. Of course, we saw Mars was in Virgo doing its thing. I love it. Trine Uranus, opposing Saturn. That's not the best. Opposing Neptune, well, because they're conjunct. And you can see the dates. So the 6th, 7th, it starts up here. Mars starts to kind of make some motion all the way through about the 10th and the 11th. So you can see these dates, they kind of one by one hitting. This is about the full moon energy. So that's why I focused on Mars during the full moon. I saw that's going to be something we're going to have to deal with because Mars and Saturn are usually, they really don't get along because Mars is a hothead and Saturn is a cool energy person. Saturn's always like cool with the energy, man, and Mars is like, no, I just want to go hit it. So that's something to keep out look for. But Mars is in Virgo, I would say that's pretty good. So I would say around this time, a wise use of your energy, which is pretty much around the full moon. Um, we saw that trine Mars, Neptune, Mars, Pluto. That's around the full moon as well. So there's a lot of change that's going to happen. This is that conjunction of Venus and Jupiter, which we saw. That's the 10th through what, the 13th. The trine with Uranus and Pluto. That's something. That's the big hull, right? So Pluto is taking care of really going deep because you remember how we saw there was involved with Chiron. That's all that starts up right after the full moon and goes all the way through August. Okay, Venus North. These are all little hits here, but I'm just looking at kind of the bigger ones. Here's a lot of Venus hits that we have going on towards the end of the month, 24th through the 28th. Venus hits Saturn, trines, sextiles Uranus, trines Neptune, opposes Pluto. I mean, that's a big deal. So we are going to look at the new moon. This might be falling around the new moon. I'll check right now. This is what we want to look for. Venus, Venus energies around this new moon. I think it's 23rd. Yeah, I kind of remember looking at that. Yeah, we want to keep a look at that. Yeah, this is new moon energy. So Venus comes in for the new moon. Mars was here for the full moon. So that might be a good balance of lunar cycles. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think this is the big player right here is Uranus Pluto, that trine, that awakening of the hidden wounds and um, turning them, transmuting them. I think that's the bigger picture we see here. Let's have a look at what we got going on for this new moon. Let me see if I wrote anything for it. Uh, Probably here. Yeah, I did notice that again, that Pleiades conjunction. This is actually full moon. I had new moon up. Where'd it go? Uh, Maybe it's gone. Okay, let me just wing it for you here. Because I remember reviewing it. Um, so the new moon on August 23rd. Let me get my pen out. Okay, this loosens up the conjunction, but this is in Leo, so we're looking at royal heart energy, which is what we discussed before. We still have, let's see here, we have a square with Uranus at this point. Now, do we have a sort of T-square? I think I was looking at something with the Lilith energy, which is why I was saying this is, and I think this is, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, so this is what the T-square I was looking at before. So now we have Lilith involved. Lilith is, and it's in Capricorn. So Lilith is that the suppressed feminine voice. So the voice of the suppressed feminine, the hidden, the unheard voice. Now it wants to awaken, and it's conjunct the Pleiades, new moon, royal heart. It's heart energy. It could be borderline loud, um, but I wouldn't. I think it's under control because you do have this nice spiritual mature energy. And I want to double check what's Chiron doing. It squares on Venus and it trines on the moon, on the new moon. So if you look at Chiron, it trines here, but it does square Venus, and it might be a T square with that Pluto. So before we saw something going on with Mars, now we see a Venus, and it's also, so it's in Cancer. So yeah, this is I want to check Mercury. Not Mercury's out of Gatorade. I didn't point that out earlier. Let's have a look at when that happens. Give me 1 second. I thought I saw it here, right here. Um, what is that? The 10th? Between the 10th and the 12th, it starts to go direct. Okay. All right. So now that's direct. Yeah, I think these squares are with the feminine. It could be a little loud. Voices might need to be heard. The suppressed voices might need to be heard on this new moon. Which is fine, August 23rd. Yeah, so that's totally fine. Um, yeah, another square with Mars. Yeah, this one is going to be a little bit tougher than that hits the north. Yeah. So there's going to be a need to speak up for sure of feeling suppressed or unheard. So I think we would have to figure out a nice way. Nice way we can be heard because you don't want to create destruction because that Pluto has me concerned. It's opposing Venus. Uh, see right there. It has good aspects to the Neptune Saturn. It's kind of like a kind of pyramid. So we could be okay. There's two sextiles, you see? So we could be okay. But that's what we're looking at. To be heard. And it's heart energy. Leo is the heart. It's the creative life force, which is your heart. So that's where we're looking at. The purity of the heart. I always look at Leo as purity of heart. All right. I think we're good here. Okay. I don't know if I have any announcements. I just wanted to pop this real quick with you guys. Let's see. Let's stop the share. Let's end the call. All right. Good luck for August, guys. It seems pretty good. Don't worry about it. And we'll be in touch. Okay. Bye.